The Los Angeles Astra returned to the WUL after a one-year hiatus and look to show off their new and improved skill set. The Bay Area Falcons suffered a 22-14 defeat at the hands of San Diego Superbloom yesterday and are looking for a victory today to return home with an even record. Welcome to opening weekend of the 2026 season of the Western Ultimate League. I am Jake Baumer, and I have the distinct pleasure of being joined in the booth today by the Julia Wallace. Julia, there are a lot of things to be excited about as we get ready to watch these two teams take the field. What are you looking forward to seeing today?
Hey, Jacob, so excited to be here on opening weekend for Astra. Also, happy Women's Month and International Women's Day, which was March 8th. It's going to be so exciting to watch these teams. One, to see Astra coming together. We have veterans that are going to be playing on the field and also some new faces, new places. And we're going to be seeing the Falcons, who no doubt after their surprising upset loss from San Diego Superbloom are going to be wanting revenge and trying to get a win. Both of these players have a great history, and I can't wait to see both of them and see what they do on opening day today.
Yeah, the Falcons enter this season as the league runner-up last year, losing to the Superbloom in the championship game. And so that rematch yesterday was an exciting game that Superbloom managed to take hold of and kind of have control of that whole game start to finish. We are looking forward to Astra, their first game back in the league with a lot of new players, as you mentioned. This is going to be a fun, exciting game. Some beautiful sun out here in beautiful Burbank, California. John Burroughs High School hosting us here.
And, you know, the other thing I'm looking forward to is seeing some of these stars coming out and playing. Both folks who have been captaining the team from both players as well as the stars that are coming out from the Falcons. Want to say anything about those folks?
Yeah, so the Bay Area Falcons, they're going to be captained today by number 23, Margot Donahue, number 49, Robin Fenig, and number 71, Georgia Cardosa. All of them played a huge role in last night's game. Robin Fenig is going to be around the disc all of the time, arguably one of the best throwers in the game today. And Georgia Cardosa was all over the place defensively last night. So looking forward to seeing what they have to bring to the field today.
And Don Colton's got a storied history, just a baller out here from North Carolina, coming to the Bay Area. And so it's going to be exciting to see her, see what she does around the disc, as well as Alex Barnett. Alex Barnett was also a huge figure yesterday against the Superbloom. And like I said, they're going to be wanting some revenge.
And then for the Astra, they're captained today by Chip Yen and Maddie Shade. Both of them are veterans of this team. Chip Yen, one of Astra's all-stars for the last couple of years. She will be everywhere on the field, so be ready to see her flying around everywhere.
Yeah, and also Avo's going to be out there. Looking forward to seeing her playing and them just handling the disc, as well as Emily Ash Nessie, who's an incredible cutter, so speedy on the field, and Sophie. All of them are returning players, part of, again, our crew of folks that have been returning and making some important plays on the disc. I was speaking with Frances, one of the Astra players who's also returning, and she was saying, you know, it was great to be able to play with a Premier Ultimate League, new places, new players, but the Western Ultimate League has really been our home, and she's glad to be back to playing with the Western Ultimate League and seeing how the new folks are gelling with our veteran players, our baller shot callers.
Sounds like a good plan. So as we're getting ready here, we're waiting for, you can see the two teams are gathered up in their huddles, getting ready to get hyped for the start of this game. I want to ask you, Julia, as a veteran on the field yourself, what is something that you would be focused on as you start this game? Like, what is one or two things that you would be stressing that would help your team be successful in this environment today?
You know, if If I was coming out as Falcons, I would be thinking about the weather. In part, the weather was a little bit of a factor in the game, and I think that really Super Bloom was able to read it. Now it's really hot. We don't have wind right now, but it has been intermittently windy. So if I was Falcons, I would be looking out for that. I'd be handling the disc well and just trying to focus on continuation plays. And if I was Astra, I would just be feeling ourselves and our team out, building that chemistry on the field. It's one thing at practice, and then it's another thing to be in the field, in the moment. And so I'd really be seeing, and I'm sure the coaches have been talking about, who fits together, what handler cores, what cutters, what combination of players on our women and non-binary team in our league are going to be playing together. So we see our opening line, Steph Pritchard, who is a veteran on Astra, has been on for several years, is going to be there, as well as, is that Avo as well?
Looks like, yeah, we have Sabrina Belkin on the line, too. Chip Yen is out there. Bella Pearson. And it looks like Astra is calling for the disc, so Astra will start the game on defense. They will be pulling right to left on your screen. Just a reminder that these WUL fields are 80 yards end zone to end zone, with the typical 40 yards wide and 20-yard end zones. So on your screen, the far sideline marks the sideline, and the near sideline is designated by the smaller cones, just for those viewing at home.
Yeah, and there's a couple, things to keep in mind. The stall is at 7 seconds, and the players have 7 seconds to throw the disc. The players make their own foul calls, but if there's something contested, like the players can't agree on it, then the observers, our illustrious observers, do interfere and make calls that both players agree on.
So there's the opening pull of the Astra season, and Bay Area looks to get started on offense. No surprise that Robin Fennig will be behind the disc a lot. That is a quick turnover into the ground attempted for Jules Madigan. We see Steph Pritchard pick up the disc on offense for Astra. A little cheeky over-the-top lefty that floats up in the wind. We already see the wind playing the role.
And it's not a consistent wind. It's like a slow wind, and then it picks up a little bit, and then it stops. And so how these players deal with this intermittent wind is going to be interesting, and I think that's going to be one of the keys to the game.
So here, Bay Area looks to capitalize again after that turnover right there into the end zone. That is Lexi Zalk with the goal.
Lexi Zalk, no stranger to the end zone. And really what they did was, when you see they just kind of waited until the space became open. Typical ultimate fundamentals. Here we go. And so we see them working it up. There's Robin Fennig with the disc, with Avo watching, swings it over, dump and swing. You know that thing.
Yeah, Kendra Miller there continues the disc to Jules Madigan, who completes it to Lexi Zalk there. So Madigan on the assist, Zalk with the goal.
And there we go. Falcons 1, Astra 0 at the moment off the first point.
That is the kind of disc movement you want to see out of your offense. Some easy give-go up the sideline, finding a break around to open up some space, and then re-attacking the middle of the field there. Bay Area looks pretty comfortable their first go-around.
Okay, and the Bay pulls to Astra.
Maddie Shade and Nadine Meister in the backfield for Astra.
Okay.
Looking to connect upfield. There's a huck deep. Affected by the wind again. Hits the ground. A throw attempted for Amanda Ring. Falls short, and Astra will look to get it back on defense now.
And Dawn Colton here. Throwing it. Nice look inside. And then there's a look deep.
Pin Wong looking deep. That is Margot Donahue that brings it down.
Connects with Dawn again, who throws it up.
And finds Pin Wong in the end zone for a Bay Area goal. So they get the break right after their hold, and that is a great start for Bay Area. And
you see Dawn Colton really throws those around discs, kind of using the wind to our advantage. Because when you arc the disc up, then it can make it easier for them to look at. And we see this great huck floating and is able to get it without really any contest. Swings it back to Colton, who throws it again up, and the defender, Nessie, doesn't really get a chance to get there. So first break goes to the Falcons.
That's really important presence there by Donahue to bring it down. A lot of players will get a little antsy as they get near the end zone after catching a long huck, and they'll try to get the first throw off that they can into the end zone. Donahue did a good job of slowing it down, getting the disc back to another really, really good disc handler, finding Don Colton and letting her make the next play. That is a huge thing to be able to do on the ultimate field, to not think you have to score on the next throw, but making sure that you just keep possession, especially near the end zone.
Steph on the field again. Sees the disc. Number 2, Sabrina.
Great outside throw to Chip Yen. Looking around, finds that upfield. That opens up a deep shot from Belkin, looking for Bella Pearson deep. They're under it, and it carries a little too far. If only we could give 3 points for it getting there through the goalpost. That is an amazing shot, but unfortunately just out of reach, out the back. So Bay Area will look to get another break here. We really like that movement from Astra, though. When you get an upfield completion, you want to find that next continue. So opening up the deep game is really important.
Oh, good hands.
Bridget Whiffler showing off that mitts early. Lee around. That's Colton again looking deep. That's Donahue. Looks like they're going to be a deep target today, but that is just out of Donahue's reach. So Astra will look to capitalize on this second possession here on this O point.
Avo's picking up the disc. Oh, there's a pick.
It looks like we have an injury call. That's going to be Bridget Whiffler.
And that's too bad. I hope it's just a little tweak and not something that keeps them out of the game for the rest of the game. You got to listen to your body. When you get that tweak, don't keep playing on it. Take a moment, take a beat. Your teammates can pick up for you. You can come back. Live to play another day or another point, as it were.
Indeed. So that's going to be number 2, Reeve Grobrecker, coming on for Whiffler.
The observers are talking here. I guess there's a conversation about where the disc should be coming in. It looks like Stephanie Pritchard and Don Colton are having a convo. Okay. I see. So maybe what it is that because there was the injury and the team player got a chance to pick up, where should the disc start and where should the players be? That was a curious question.
Looks like we're coming to some agreement. Colton may be moving a little bit closer to the disc. Observers seem to have it straightened out, and we will get back underway momentarily.
Yes. You can tell when things are resolved that the observers slowly back away.
Yes.
Okay, and that was a nice lockdown defense, but they're able to get it off.
Belkin
looking to swing
upfield.
to 70. Oh, wow.
Huge block by Don Colton. Read that dump set perfectly and was able to get the block. Back on the disc again is Colton. We're going to see Colton with the disc a lot on this D-line for Bay Area. That's Janelle Lee in the backfield with some give-go with Vicky Chen. Lillian Stepanidis on the near flick side. Colton looking upfield again. Doesn't see the open downfield cutter. Throws an inside that is fingertip catch by Chen. Some good movement from Bay Area. Open up the break side, but that throw is a little bit too high. Really good pressure from number 2, Sabrina Belkin, and Astra retains possession once again.
Yeah, that's the thing about defense. It's not necessarily just one awesome play, but also the constant pressure. And look, and once again, okay, so it looks like stall was called before the throw. Observer signaling.
Pritchard is also signaling that maybe it was a strip or a foul on the upline movement. So we got a couple calls to sort out here. The observer confirms the stall call, so it will be Bay Area disc. Don Colton picking up, looking to reset here for the Falcons. These teams really like that inside break throw, and that is Janelle Lee throwing the goal to the substitute that came in, Reeve Grobecker, for the Falcons, extending their lead to 3-0 early here in the first quarter.
And the Falcons have really been good at picking up and moving the disc after the turnover, really getting in the space. Don Colton's handler defense was essential to that D. So we see Don on Avo. Avo's guarding, no throw up, and then again they just work it up the field, easy as you like.
It's so important, again, especially near the end zone, to have continuation plays ready set for you. And as soon as Janelle Lee got that inside upline look, Grobecker was right there ready to receive that goal. So you always, especially as a thrower, when you get the disc, you always want to have somebody available right away. You never want to be holding onto the disc forever, especially near the end zone. So that's really good movement by the Falcons to capitalize on their opportunities.
And it looks like Brooke Nishida has the disc. Shout out Baked Goods, Winter League team. Seen her on the field. And it starts off in the center of the field. I think the wind playing a factor and that disc not traveling as far as they'd like. But unfortunately, there's a turn.
Maddie Shade's attempted throw to Malia Smith is just a little bit outside. So Georgia Cardoso will pick up for the Falcons and continue play for them.
Okay, and it looks like there's a foul called, no contest. I think they're going by whiff diff hand signals. And it's helpful to know the hand signals because then you can kind of understand what the players are calling. So it looks like because, okay, and the observers are getting involved.
That was Stepanidis that had received that disc, but it looks like it's going to go one throw back.
We got Sophie on.
It's going to go two throws back, all the way back to Gardosa on the sideline. So now we'll confirm what the stall will be coming in on. Looks like it's coming in on 0. Cardosa into the middle of the field. That is a terrific run-through block by Malia Smith.
Malia, Big Ten, let's go.
Captain Maddie Shade on the sideline. Great upline cut from Meister. Continues to Amanda Ring. And that is Sophie Haverneck just out of reach in the end zone.
Almost. But that was great movement by the Astra. Working it after the turn. What a great run through D. She telegraphs that as if they had told her 2 days ago.
That's going to be the kind of defense that both teams are going to try to play all day. But when you have an open receiver in the end zone, you really want to make sure you complete those. And that's going to be, if they can't get this D back right here, that's going to be one that they're going to kind of regret a little bit as the game goes on. So that's Stefanidis again with the disc. Finds Sarah Combs on the sideline. Bay Area really does a good job of looking backfield. But
Sophie gets that.
Sophie Haverneck in the right space at the right time, reads that well, and gets Astra moving back upfield again. Maddie Shade just outside the end zone. 1 or 2 steps at the most. An inside throw, and that is a catch for a goal. What a catch by Nadine Meister for Astra to get on the board for the first time this season.
And, you know, that's got to be a confidence booster for the Astra. Being at 3-0 can really make you feel nervous, intimidated, kind of question yourself. But once you get on the board, hey, it's just two breaks down. So great job by the Astra team to work it up the field. That nice little give-go that we saw was effective for them and turning it close to the end zone.
So looking at our right play, we see there's 2 handlers going back in the dump set, and sometimes having 2 open players is having no open players. Sophie Haverneck able to read that perfectly, and Astra's able to work it up. As you can see, Captain Maddie Shade takes her time and finds the open player in Meister for the goal.
And, you know, being a captain means you have to be a strong, calm presence, especially in the end zone. Not get too nervous, not make the throws that aren't close to 100% there. And then there's Amo with a great pull. The pulls are, though, ending up in the middle of the field because of the wind. And who reads the wind better is going to be the team that really is able to make this game.
So Jenny Lee picks up to start, finds Alex Barnett upfield. Jenny Lee again, a shot into the end zone that is almost tipped, and what a phenomenal catch. Jacqueline Nguyen lays out, fingertip grab for the Falcons.
Goodness,
what a play.
I thought that was down, but it wasn't. She got it. So nice work for the Falcons. A quick score for them, really working it up the field.
So from the start here, you find Jenny Lee begins the play for the Falcons. Alex Barnett, again, going to be around the disc a lot. Back to Lee. Kara Hammer throw goes just outside of Avalon Igawa's reach, and Jacqueline Nguyen with the huge layout again. Fingertip grab just off the turf.
Holds on to it even with the ground contact. That was an amazing catch.
So that's a 4-1 Bay Area lead with about 4.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Bay Area looks like they have plenty of confidence remaining coming off of the loss last night. Astra will look to show the same kind of offensive confidence on this point.
Astra's quick give go, just working it through.
That is Malia Smith underneath, fakes that inside backhand, gets the disc moving horizontally again. You love to see that. Opens up a little bit more of the field. Meister wide open on the break side. The continuation to Veronica Yee. She chases it down, and a grab for a goal. What a fantastic leading pass. Huge running effort by Veronica Yee for the goal.
What a bid, Yee. That was great. And the Astra came out and talk about confidence. They just worked it up the field. They were confident in their throws. They were confident in their folks getting open. And as we see, they swing it around. Don't try to force it. And just work it up the field. Working it up the field, swinging it to open person. I wonder if that was a force middle. And as this disc glides, she follows it, and lays out picture perfect bid.
You see a lot of players try to go up for the disc in that initial pass over and jump and miss, and then they don't have the opportunity to run it down. That was a fantastic read by Yee to just full out sprint and go meet the disc where it was going instead of trying to grab it early, and it paid off.
Reading is fundamental. Got to be able to read that disc.
Get your library cards early, kids, and use them often.
That's right.
Amanda Ring with the pull this time. Lands just in bounds. So Bay Area will take over. That is Jenny Lee picking up. Alex Barnett. Quite a big reset there. But Lee crosses the field and gets it back. Sarah Combs looks upfield. Some really good movement there. Zalk doesn't even look upfield. Gets it just moving back to the midfield to open up space. Some really good patient offense from Bay Area, finding the break side. That's Robin Fenig. Back to Zalk and Alex Barnett. Looks off that undercut to hit the up line to Zalk. Kendra Miller, about 15 yards out. Alex Barnett looks off that upline cut. Inside break throw to Combs, and the continuation is perfectly in space to Ruby Holman for the Bay Area goal.
Cool, calm offense. This was before this play. The Astra also looked off an up the line cut, and they looked that off to preferring to swing it around. See, she's up there. Says, kind of forces that one, but then says, no, we're not going to that. We're going to swing it around instead, breaking the mark, totally open with space, uncontested catch.
really important to have that upfield field vision. That look that Barnett had, a lot of players would throw that leading pass to the open upline receiver. But if you saw in that replay, there was a defender poaching off that was in that space that would probably have gotten the block. A lot of less experienced throwers make that throw, but Barnett sees it, is able to move it across the field, and then it's a wide open, easy goal.
That's right. You don't have to take the first throw. Just take the highest percentage best throw.
So the Astra gets started. Igawa behind the disc with Belkin. Their string play opens up some space. That is Carly Steiner looking deep, and Chip Yen reads it and grabs the goal. What a great play by the Astra, coming off the pull play. Finds Steiner wide open in the middle of the field, and Yen on the continuation.
The Astra's hanging in there now. Now it's really trading points back and forth. You see they pick up the disc, swings it.
See, this is designed player movement. As the players move across the field laterally, opens up the space for Steiner, and then the huge step out, perfect flick throw to Yen. Great play call there from the coaching staff to get Astra on the board again. 5-3 Bay Area.
Still pretty close game as we're getting to the final 2 minutes, about just a little bit over 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Steiner's going to stay on the field to throw this pull. We have seen some really good offense in this first quarter. There has been a lot of really good disc movement, not just looking upfield, but making sure to get the disc off early into the dump set. That is huge for creating good offense for yourself. Both teams have been able to do that really well so far today. Robin Fennig grabs the pull, finds Alex Barnett in the middle of the field. Back to Fennig. She'll be looking for a deep cut there. Jules Madigan into the middle. Fennig to win. To Barnett. About 12 yards outside the end zone. Some give-go motion. Opens it up. Bay Area will look to be patient again. That's Fennig on the inside, and she jumps into the end zone for the goal. That is a great find. Again, fantastic patience from the Falcons, and Barnett is able to hit the inside shot to Fennig for the goal.
Very clean offense, but not necessarily easy. Some of those throws, although they were able to work it up the field, were contested, and the Astra have continuously been looking to get those run-through Ds. The other thing, though, is when you try to get one thing, you kind of miss another. So you see Astra walking that around, but they're able to get off the around throw. And again, breaking the mark.
Little elevator pass over Igawa. Igawa is going to wish they were a couple inches taller. There'd be a couple more Ds out there. Bay Area is able to calculate these passes really well so far today.
D'Lo, wish you were a little bit taller. Wish I was a baller. You know, that's what he says. That's what he says. But, you know, if you're not tall, you can always be fast and agile. And the Ultimate has a lot of those players in spades. And so we've got about a minute 43 seconds left in the first.
Maddie Shade and Nadine Meister in the backfield again. Sophie Haverneck finds it underneath on the far sideline. Engages the dump set early. A lot of these great lefty inside upline throws. I am loving how both teams are able to pull that off.
Yeah.
Amanda Ring looks deep.
Fakes the deep. I thought it was going. But hey, Astra, do what you like.
Again, a lot of really good movement in the dump set. That throw from Haverneck misses the intended target, but Amanda Ring is there to scoop it up. Haverneck continues up line. And that throw is blocked away by Dawn Colton, able to read that continuation.
Dawn and on, you know, she's an amazing player, a great pickup by the Falcons, and that's part of the reason is that heads-up defense. Falcons now started on the sideline. Oh, but
huge hand block by Amanda Ring, picked up by Malia Smith, who leads it back to Amanda Ring instantly for the double happiness bookends.
And
what
jumps
a
up
play.
and gets it again at the end zone. You know, there's another thing. Turning it close to your end zone means also that you have a higher chance of being able to score that. And Astra are able to get it. It's now 6-4.
What an incredible sequence. Sophie Havernick looks like she might have an open player, but Dawn Colton says no. Bridget, I forget who picks up here, but Amanda Ring reads the inside play, gets a huge hand on it, and then finds the open space across the end zone for the goal. Great awareness by Malia Smith to find her teammate there, too. What an incredible sequence by the Astra defenders. And Amanda Ring in the right space at the right time, saving the early possible throwaway in the previous possession. And then picking up her teammate to get the hand block, get the disc back in their hands, and find that goal. So it's 6-4, under a minute left. Do want to remind you that the quarter does not just end when time runs out. In the WUL, when the buzzer sounds, you complete that possession to either a goal or a turnover. So you'll see the clock tip down to 0 as we see a huck go up. Carly Steiner's in the area. She skies for the grab. What a defensive block in the deep space by Carly Steiner. And now she's in the backfield looking to move the Astra offense up the field. That throw for Pritchard is a little bit too high, and Bay Area comes down with it. Lexi Zalk now with the disc. 20 seconds remaining. Open throw. Did they catch? They did catch it in the end zone for the goal. Alex Barnett with really good footwork there to make sure she scored and gathered that in the end zone. So that will be a goal for the Falcons.
And just want to let y'all know who are watching on the live stream. Our live stream broadcast today is brought to you by TVX Sports Video. The high-def action wouldn't be possible without the support of TVX. They're available for all your broadcast needs at tvxvideo.com. So glad to have y'all in the streams, in the things. Great. See, now that was a great D, but unfortunately the wind picks that up, and the the Falcons are able to get that disc by number 22, hatches it. They slow down, look, and in the end zone, easy as you like.
Looks like that was a bookends of her own from Alex Barnett, getting the block and then continuing into the end zone. So 12 seconds left in the first quarter. Again, Astra will look to maintain possession until the clock hits 0, and then however that possession ends will end the quarter. So some early backfield movement. The buzzer sounds, so however this possession ends will end the quarter. Astra will hope that ends in the end zone. Meister gets the disc on some upfield movement. There's some great clearing of space here. Maddie Shade with the disc on the near sideline. Meister finds the continuation to Veronica Yee. Sophie Havernick. And another huge block by Dawn Colton. Dawn has been everywhere in this first quarter, making huge plays for Bay Area, and that play will end the quarter. And not afraid to leave their feet. Dawn Colton all over the defense, just doing it. And it's the end of the first. Bay Area 7, Astra Los Angeles 4. Anything interesting you noticed at this first quarter? Again, like I said earlier, I am actually really impressed by how well both teams are moving the disc on offense. There's a lot of really good give-go movement. There's a lot of creating space, especially on the break side. It is so important for an offense to be able to utilize the entire width of the field. A lot of teams end up getting stuck near the sideline, and they'll try to, as the ultimate quote goes, jam it up the jam hole. And all that does is bring a lot of people into a small space. When you can spread the disc wide, you are creating a lot more space with fewer people and creating a lot more opportunities for yourself. And I think both teams have done a really good job of that. Yeah, I agree with you. Both teams have been able to really work their offensive sets. The difference, though, is that it seems like on defense, the Falcons have been able to get a bit of the best. And I think part of that is being able to read the wind. That last play, that the amazing D that the Astra got, once the disc was thrown, it kind of popped up in the air because of the wind, and then Falcons were able to get the disc again. And then, of course, Dawn Colton's amazing
Come on.
When you have supreme playmakers like that, that only lifts up the rest of your team to do the same. So I think Bay Area is really going to feed off of what their defense is providing for them. I think that's another huge part of Ultimate, that your team is going to be as energized as your defense is. And Bay Area is really putting on a defensive show in this first quarter.
They sure are. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, you know, I could do that. Maybe I could do that. Why don't you find out? Come and play Ultimate Frisbee. Join us. Right before this, I was at a St. Pat's Hat tournament, which was super fun. There's also pickup games. There's leagues. There's all kinds of ways to be able to play and join the Ultimate community. And you're so welcome if you're interested in either learning the sport, coming back to the sport after a while, or just having some fun and checking it out.
Indeed, it is a phenomenal sport to play. It is not uncommon to see veteran Ultimate players with the Play Ultimate tattooed on their bodies because they love the sport so much.
Yeah, I thought about that. You'd be so welcome. There's games going literally all over the world. There's pickupultimate.com, which also has pickup games that you could play in. I have played in other countries and just picked up and had the same kind of kindness and warmth and competitiveness in other countries, other states. So just check it out. And also, shout out to the Western Ultimate League and the Premier Ultimate League for really providing a space for women and non-binary players to play competitively, but also to play with that spirit of the game that we appreciate and love oh so much.
And obviously, if you're unable to find playing opportunities or just trying to relax at home, but you still want to get better at Ultimate, it's always good to watch high-level Ultimate. And obviously, you have already found us here on the WUL YouTube page. Every single Western Ultimate League game is streamed live here on YouTube, so make sure you check out all of the action. There were 2 games yesterday. We mentioned that the Bay Area Falcons played in San Diego yesterday. Utah played against Arizona yesterday, and that was a fun game to watch too, so go check that out as we are in week 1 out of 12 in this Western Ultimate League season.
Still lots of Ultimate to go. As we start off again at the second with Astra starting off on offense.
Nadine Meister into the middle of the field.
Oh, goodness, that was a dicey throw, but it worked. Great catch.
Ava Ekberg finds Malia Smith. We've been saying Malia's name a lot. Newcomer to the team this season. We have a call, possibly a foul on the mark.
Yeah, there was some contact there.
Upfield. Engages in the dump set right away. Some good give-go action again. A lot of that movement we've been talking about. Finds an early around back to Ekberg. The upfield throw to Haverneck, and she looks deep. That is Nadine Meister. Oh, just out of reach. Could have been an amazing goal. That was some really good movement from Astra, but Bay Area will look to start the second quarter off with a break.
And what I'm seeing is that on this side of the end zone, the wind is pushing that way, and so it's carrying the disc further than it is on the other side of the end zone. There's been more scores on this side than the side that the Falcons are on right now. So if he's clogging that lane.
Looks like Astra has made a slight adjustment to help with some of the downfield coverage, and right there it pays off. A throwaway from Ruby Holman that does not find their intended receiver, and Astra will pick up about 25 yards out from the end zone.
All right, Kara Hammer with the disc. Great strike cut.
Ekberg looking, what a grab right in front of the defender. That is an amazing play into a tight window.
Wow, the head spike con autoridad. Great catch.
Incredible play there. You do not see that throw go up very often when there's 2 defenders in the way, but an amazing one-handed grab brings the Astra back within 2.
And look, see that strike cut, power position, and just goes for it. And even with the poach, that is an amazing layout grab with the head spike. Let's go. Now, what number was that? It looks like they were wearing 83.
That is correct.
But you know what? They're all Astras, all right? And it was a great catch to really also give confidence. You know, Astra team willing to leave their feet and go for it, even with double coverage, and are successful. Even at this end zone that has a lot of wind and is blowing a lot. And we have the pull from number 16, Carly Steiner. Robin Finnig with the disc. Sure.
So Astra does look like they're playing the lanes a little bit more to cut off the upfield throws. That is a very useful strategy if you can keep your awareness high and are in the right spaces at the right times. Bay Area having to use a little bit more of the edges of the field in order to combat that. But that is Jenny Lee looking deep. A great grab brought down just outside the end zone. Lexi Zalk, and that disc is bobbled and ultimately is down in the end zone. Fantastic pressure D to not let that goal happen so easily.
Pressure D, clean D. It was really right on the side of the end zone, and now Astra gets to pick up the disc at the front of the end zone next to the cone.
Some good movement. Chip Yen. Carly Steiner looking deep. Has Francis Labar. What a catch from Francis. And we hear a whistle blown. A travel is called on Steiner's throw.
It looks like there's no contesting that travel call, so it's getting sent back. Okay.
It was still a fantastic throw from Steiner and a great catch by Labar. Huge that Labar catches that, because if it's not a catch, then it's a turnover. So here we'll look at the replay and see if Steiner's pivot foot steps out wide, and it does look like her left foot scoots just a little bit right before she lets go. Obviously unintentional, but when your momentum is moving that quickly, sometimes it's hard to keep that pivot foot down.
And speaking of pausing some momentum, timeout looks like called by Astra. Gonna collect themselves, maybe because Steiner's in the middle of the field, might try to call pull play, you know, hey, see what they can do. They were open deep and read the disc pretty well, so might be looking to shoot deep, I think.
Yeah, and just a reminder, in the WUL, when a timeout is called, not only are you allowed to sub on anybody you want, you can do a full line sub, all 7 players, but the stall comes back down to 0. So 2 advantages for calling timeout in the pro leagues.
And two per team per half. So really able to use those strategically. I don't think there was a timeout called in the first.
Not that I recall.
So now, you know, the second, using it, use them before you lose them, right? I mean, if you have it, use it. You don't get to take them with you in the third or the fourth. So might as well use them while you got them.
Oh my gosh, you can't express your love. It's so hard for her right now. Joe, did you walk here?
And it looks like they have made a line change. I see Avo on the field coming on.
Yeah, Avalon Agawa and Chip Yen are in the most attacking positions. Yen being guarded under by Fenig in a deny. Gets it across in the break side space, and a continuation from the back of the stack. That throw is just a little low, and Bella Pearson is unable to bring it in.
Almost a mermaid catch.
So Robin Fenig looks to get them started. Finds Georgia Cardosa on the sideline. Again, a great use of the field width by Bay Area as Fenig finds Kendra Miller on the near sideline.
And the stall's called.
Yeah, looks like Amanda Ring is calling stall. And appears that Miller thinks that she got it off in time. The observers will consult.
It looks like a stall contest. Now, just a reminder, the stall is at 7. And so oftentimes people play to T of 10. Here in the Western Ultimate League, the stall is 7. And so because it's a contested, it looks like it's going to go down to 5.
This is one of those calls where if the observers have a sense of the play, that they can come in and rule. But it appeared that both observers were pretty far away, and neither of them was able to make a call on it, so they let the play call on the field.
And just now there was a foul, no contest. So Robin Finnick with the disc.
Some give-go there with Jacqueline Wataoka. Another high stall. Another stall called Chip Yen, and looks like Finnick is going to say that she got it off that time too. So I think that adjustment by the Astra is doing some really good work. Bay Area is not having nearly as many quick open chances as they had the whole first quarter, and now that's 3 stall counts in 1 possession. Shows you how much Bay Area is having to hold on to the disc now.
Yeah, what it looks like is happening is that the Astra are now focusing on handler defense to shut those arounds down, as well as keeping the cutters up the field from getting the disc. And it looks like there is a stall contest coming in.
And that is going to be a Bay Area timeout.
Like I said, you can't take them with you, so you might as well use them. Bay Area is calling a timeout. They're probably going to be calling a play as well. But Astra with a lot of defensive momentum. The part about defense, again, is that it isn't necessarily just the one defensive play, but the pressure. And Astra has been putting a lot of pressure on their handlers, which has been having some results. Basically, this last 40-yard line hasn't really moved. Just Falcons have had to just dump and swing with all these contested catches. We'll see what happens.
And that has to always feel like a win when you're the defensive team and you are putting enough pressure that the offense feels like they have to call timeout. If the O-line is calling a timeout, you're doing your job.
Fair enough.
And I think that timeout was probably a throw or two later than it could have been, just with how much pressure Bay Area was receiving and how they weren't able to capitalize on any upfield movement. So good quick little reset here. Robin Finnick will bring the disc in with a fresh stall count. Surely they will have a play. You can see 4 receivers are on the far sideline with 1 ISO'd out in the lane. So one would think that isolated cutter is going to, taking off deep. That is Lexi Zalk, a floaty throw from Finnick, and it is in her hands, but at the last second, the help pressure from Yen and the initial pressure from Ring caused the drop. You like the play call and going to one of your best cutters, but the throw is just a little floaty. Zalk did have it in her hands, and I'm sure she thinks she should have caught that. So Astra will look to capitalize now with their own possession. Great inside throw to Yen.
Read that.
When a defender is face guarding purely, it's sometimes easier to get that throw off around them because they don't know where the disc is coming from. Igawa finds Pearson on the near sideline. Continuation upfield to Belkin. Had Yee wide open underneath, but that was another travel called by Finnick. Pearson 5 yards outside the end zone. Ring was open for a second, but Pearson couldn't quite get her throw on it. What a
catch.
Wow. Pearson's throw goes near the turf, and Belkin catches it. Then a blade finds Pearson.
And that is a break for the Astra. Wow. They really worked for that. When they set up, Finnick set up the pool play, both the defenders peeled off.
Yeah, we see Pearson has the disc here. They get that throw just a little low. That high initial point, the follow-through is going to end up low, but Belkin sees the space that Pearson creates in the back and finds with a tricky little blade flick there.
And for folks who may not know about Ultimate, when you catch the disc on the line of the end zone, it is a not in call. It's not like football where if you touch the line, it's counted in. You have to catch it on the other side of the line. And so what we saw there was an amazing catch on the line, great patience, and then waited in the back. No one there, no one's looking. And a great break for Astra. That's got to be a real confidence boost for the LA team.
bringing them back into within 1 goal with just under 5 minutes left in this first half. There's a pull from Sophie Havernack that rolls around a little, comes to rest in the exact middle of the field. Alex Barnett will pick up for Bay Area to get their O-line started. Looks like a little bit of a split stack here, a 2-3, 3 on the side. Too far. That throw goes up just out of the reach of Kendra Miller. A great attempt there. That's a very common pull play that you'll see 2 isolated cutters out in the lane with 3 other cutters off to the side, letting those 2 do their thing. They got the play they wanted. The disc just carried just out of reach. So Astra looked to...
Oh, wow. Great hands.
That was a fantastic catch in the backfield there by Ava Ekberg. Ekberg working with Havernack in the backfield.
Oh, Bud Finnig reads that like a book. Does the run through D.
Finnig comes back to the disc near the sideline. Looks break, gets a great throw off to Barnett, who continues even further to the break side. Ruby Holman looks in the end zone and connects with Jacqueline Wynn for the goal. Bay Area take the lead 8-6.
But we're seeing Astra's mounting pressure. They're getting defensive looks. We see here Robin Finnig reads that. Veteran player, knew it was coming, ran towards it before it got there. Swing it around, and even under pressure.
Wow, incredible inside backhand. If that's even just a split second later, it's either behind the receiver or in the defender's hands.
That's right.
Those cross-the-grain throws are really difficult at times, but Holman had just enough space inside to pull that off. Finnig doing a really good job there of, reading that horizontal cut. Sometimes it's really hard to throw those horizontal cuts because the angle is so easy to cut off by the defender. Finnig just doing a great job using her experience to read the play and intercept it and get her team moving towards the goal. So Bay Area pulls with a 2-goal lead. 3.5 minutes left here in the first half. Igawa and Belkin in the backfield once again. Steiner racing across the field. That throw is caught by Steph Pritchard, whether she was the intended target or not.
Oh, goodness.
We're not sure. That throw, a little bit of miscommunication. Belkin was ready to go up line, and that is not where the disc went. So now Dawn Colton looks to help lead this Bay Area defense. That throw is a little lofty. Carly Steiner tried to get there but was late, and Whiffler was able to bring that down. That throw goes into the end zone, and that is a goal for Vicky Chen. Bay Area moves the disc quickly off the turn and is able to find space to take that 3-goal lead.
And that's a break for the Bay Area. Scoring on that difficult end zone over here. Really, they played it cool as a cucumber, and they were able to make a great play. See, no one was on. There was no contest. And then catches that under double coverage, but no one is on the field. The thing about poaching in the lane and picking up, doing a help defense, is that the person that you were supposed to be marking is now unguarded and can basically make whatever throws they like depending on the player. So you have to pick your poison in a way as defense. Sometimes help D can be incredible, and we've seen some defensive players plays that have happened because of help defense. At the same time, you're leaving a person wide open.
So Bay Area pulls with a 9-6 lead. Astra will look to bounce back here. They've had a 3-goal deficit previously in this game, got it all the way back to 1. They will try to find that offensive momentum that they had early. They don't see the open cut on the break sides from Veronica Yee, but still maintaining possession is priority number 1, no matter where that is. Good little inside throw to Meister. Continued to Ekberg. Continued. Havernack brings it down, is called inbounds by the observer. Great footwork there to keep possession. That lefty inside again.
Wow.
What a throw. That's Maddie Shade with the pull. Deep huck.
Look at that catch.
Incredible grab by Emily Ash.
Let's go, Nessie. You know, part of that was just waiting and reading the disc. There's people coming up. It can feel really intimidating, especially people who are taller or jumping. But when we look at and check this out, after that amazing toe drag by Sophie, shoots it deep. And Nessie just waits for it. Both of those defenders very, very tall. But if you just wait for it, sometimes the disc just comes to you. As if it was foretold. And it just came to her. Amazing catch. Astra now down by 2. Close the lead just a little bit with just a little over 2 minutes left in the first half.
That was Dawn Colton back there in that deep space. So no small feat to get a catch behind Dawn Colton.
Just got to get people to jump early. That's really what it is. Because once you jump early, it's hard to just jump again to be able to get that disc. Again, Astra pulls.
Robin Fenig on the near side to Sarah Combs. That's a great job of gaining 20-plus yards on the first couple throws. That is also a huge key to early offense. A lot of pressure there from Chip Yan on the inside, but Alex Barnett makes the grab. Huge upfield completion to Lexi Zalk. Good little dish over to Kara Hammer. That is a continuation that is denied by Steph Pritchard. Phenomenal read and swat away. Huge to save that goal. Bay Area looked really comfortable moving the disc that time until just at the end, Steph Pritchard said, "Not in my house." So Avalon Agawa will restart play for Astra. Chip Yen isolated in the underneath space. That inside throw to Pritchard is not available, and so Bay Area will take over. Barnett just outside the goal line. A great cut by Sarah Combs gets her wide open, attacking the front cone, and that is a goal for Bay Area. Alex Barnett finding the space. Combs pushing break side to open up the open side space and get the pass. So see, good, that throw that Pritchard is able to read and get her hand in there first gives Astra the disc, but a little bit of just difficulty in the dump space again. Igawa's throw is knocked down. Combs takes her time. You see her kind of drag to the break side there, and then she explodes over to the open side, is able to get in front of Chip Yen for the goal there. Great work by Combs on that point.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is that the Astra have been able to get a lot of those high release throws, leading passes to their team players a lot of this game. And so this time, Falcons were able to telegraph that. They knew it was coming and jumped right at the right time to be able to turn that over and to turn it over close to their end zone.
Margot Donahue with the pull for Bay Area to get Astra's offensive point started. Some break side movement over here. The very well-known Fury cut clears the break side handler out of the space so the cutter can come underneath.
Great catch.
That is a great catch by Natalie So coming under there to save possession. Malia Smith with a huge rising catch there. Maddie Shade back to Natalie So on the near sideline. Astra doing a little better. And that throw is put up by Maddie Shade. Veronica Yee there, but it is swatted away by the Bay Area defense. That's a well-timed deep cut, but that throw was just a little bit drifting to the near side, and so that was 39 Bridget Whiffler of Bay Area getting the block. And then right away, an instant throwaway, trying to find a tight space into the break space was Margot Donahue, and so Astra will take over again. That huck essentially turns into a punt, and now Astra will take over inside the red zone. Nadine Meister finds Natalie So, middle of the field. Looks like some dominator movement will be interrupted as head coach Frankie Rowe calls timeout, Astra's second timeout of the half with 15 seconds remaining.
And if you're going to call a half, why not at the last 15 seconds before halftime, right? You might as well use it. Call your play. You can switch, as you said, switch an entire line of players. Might as well get your best O-line on there. But also, Falcons are going to put their best D-line. So we'll see what these coaches come up with strategically.
there are those pros and cons to that timeout. Obviously, calling the timeout, you get to reset the stall, you get to call your play, you get to bring on your 7 players. The defense gets to do the same. They get to bring on the 7 players they want. They get to set up how they want, whereas in flow, sometimes you're able to find spaces a little bit better because the defense is trying to catch up. And when it's a stop disc, the defense actually gets to set up what they want. So Astra will do their best to make a play call here that allows them to get the disc moving. Again, 15 seconds left in the half. If Astra can maintain possession for those full 15 seconds, then this will be the last possession of the half. And so whether they score or not, what they don't want to do is give Bay Area the disc and let them have a chance to score before this half ends.
Yeah. Makes sense. So just, to me, it seems like kind of dumping and swinging, not putting it too quickly so the Bay Area doesn't get a chance in case there's a turn, but really running down the clock and then striking while the iron is hot.
So Astra comes out in a pretty spread formation. Nadine Meister is going to pick up the disc with Maddie Shade in the backfield. Avalon Agawa is the initial front of the stack isolation cutter. They are unopened initially, so goes to the dump for Maddie Shade. Time winds down. We're going to hear that buzzer in about 4 seconds. High stall. There's the buzzer, and that is going to end the half. We're going to see what the observers say.
Something.
By my estimation, the buzzer sounded as the disc was in the air, so I would call that turnover after the buzzer sounds. Looks like the observers are coming to that conclusion as well. So that is phenomenal defense by Bay Area to shut down what the Astra were looking for and create a turnover at the buzzer, and that will end the half. A phenomenal first half from both teams. Bay Area Falcons a 10-7 lead over the Astra. What is a couple quick thoughts you have is what you've seen in this first half, Julia?
I think initially it was really Falcons that were kind of dictating the pace of this game. But as we've seen the Astra were able to get some defenses, it seems like this is the game or the battle of the handler defense. Both of them have been putting on clinical handler defenses, been able to get turnovers at the other team's end zones and getting some quick scores. It's been impressive offense, but also an incredible defense by both players.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like when both teams are able to get the disc moving laterally in the backfield and find that first throw upfield, it instantly creates offense. But when both teams struggle to get the disc moving in their dump set, that defensive opportunities are created and turnovers happen. So if both teams kind of have that thought going into their respective halftime talks, they'll definitely want to talk about how to keep the disc moving, how to keep creating opportunities for themselves, but definitely keep pumping themselves up with how well both teams are playing defense. They have gotten so many blocks in so many different ways. It has been really impressive to watch so far.
It's an exciting game, and exciting first game in Los Angeles to see both of these teams playing off of each other, so to speak. First, Falcons taking it, going up 3-0, and then seeing, we can do handler defense, we can shut them down, and then seeing Astra coming back, getting a break, and then again, Falcon getting a break back. They're really both of them in it, and it's anybody's game at this point. Only 3 points away with Falcons 10 and Los Angeles Astra 7.
Okay, so again, Bay Area Falcons 10, Los Angeles Astra 7. Thank you for joining us so far in this first half. We will be back for exciting WUL second half action after this.
Fantastic.
Creatine is only for extreme athletes who eat dominance.
Actually, let's skip that part. Combat Candy is for everyone who trains hard and deserves better than choking down powder. 5 grams of science-backed creatine in a gummy that turns supplement routine into something to look forward to. Just because your workout is serious business doesn't mean your creatine supplement has to be. Combat Candy. Making strength frickin' delicious. Try it at combatcandies.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is halftime in Los Angeles, California, as the Bay Area Falcons hold a 10-7 lead over the Los Angeles Astra in the 2026 opening weekend of the Western Ultimate League. It has been a great game so far, very competitive. Bay Area coming off a game yesterday, so you never know how a team's going to respond on the second day of back-to-backs. Astra in their first game together with some new faces look to have some pretty good offensive rhythm going. Both teams looking really good on offense. We're going to see some highlights here in a second, but Julia, what have you seen out of the offense so far in this first half?
The offense has been super crisp, super clean. We check it out here. They're working it around, and look, Sophie's incredible heads-up D. We've seen a lot of that, some great give goes. Both of them have been able to really read the wind pretty well. It's a great catch coming to ground in that first.
We see Alex Barnett is somebody that Bay Area has been relying on a lot today. They've been around the disc so much, and this is just one of 5, 6, 7 incredible catches that have happened today. This diving grab to save this goal. Again, Bay Area has just been flying around the field today, and that was Jacqueline Wynn on that catch. Like we talked about going into the half, the defense is really setting a tone, and if the offense can get moving early, we've seen a lot of instances where Bay Area is able to move side to side and create some space. Right there again, Alex Barnett finds Robin Fenig for the goal. Right here, an amazing grab from Natalie So.
Natalie So on the go, in between two players. She got it.
I think that's the catch of the game so far. In between two defenders, one hand, incredible. So again, Alex Barnett there with the disc. That's just going to happen over and over again. These inside shots, there have been a lot of really contested inside throws that have been completed too, showing off the skills of all these throwers we have today.
Yeah, and what I think Astra is going to need to work on in this next half is shutting down that handler defense, which they've already been working on doing. Making it difficult to throw those arounds, because what happens when you throw arounds is that it helps to reset the play. And, you know, you get a nice mark put on, but if you let an around go, it just resets back to 0. So working on that and really using the wind to their advantage.
So like the start of the game, Astra will start the second half on defense, pulling left to right, and Bay Area looks to start this third quarter with some good, clean offense. Robin Fenig finds Jenny Lee on the open side, again initiating some good movement. That break side handler dump clears and finds the upfield cutter. That is a quality play that a ton of elite ultimate teams use to create space for themselves. Bay Area already just 5 yards outside the goal. Barnett finds Lexi Zalk on the wide open upline cut. Bay Area, easy offense, easy goal coming out of the half.
Yeah, and that's literally what the Astra has to stop, is stopping those inside. So if you look, it's inside throw, and then another around throw. And again, they're just working it up the field. And this left side has traditionally been a more difficult side to score on because of the wind. Wind wasn't a factor then. There we got a little bit of a breeze now, but the Falcons really use the lack of wind to their advantage.
That give-go movement is really difficult to stop just in a one-on-one setting. You were talking about earlier the communication that needs to happen as players are moving around. Defensively, when you are setting the mark and your thrower throws to the open side, they instantly have a step on you. So what a lot of teams do is they have a role play for a defender to come off and grab that player, and now that you can switch now onto the mark. It's a lot of convoluted ways to say they should have pulled off a switch there to help them block that upfield throw, and so they'll possibly be looking to do that moving forward. But now Astra has their first attempt on offense in this second half with a 4-goal deficit. So we'll see what kind of movement they can come up with as Pritchard finds Belkin up line.
And it looks like the handlers are way far back. And there's a foul called.
Yeah, it looks like Pritchard is guarding a foul coming across her arm on the way to the disc. Generally, when you see the handlers and cutters separated by that much, the handlers are doing what's called a dominator set, where the offense is purely going to be run through them for a little while, and that's why the cutters are spaced out so far to let the handlers do their work. And these are three of the best movement players that the Astra have in Pritchard, Igawa, and Belkin. So as you can see, it opens up some really good space for Igawa. Didn't quite have the continuation that they would be looking for there. And that's a really good mark. What a catch.
What a catch in traffic.
Pearson. Wow. And the inside step out from Carly Steiner. What a sequence of events there for Astra. Huge catch by Pearson. Fantastic throw by Steiner. And that is a goal for Astra, finding Parissa Telly in the end zone. Again, that up line there to Igawa opens up some space. Bay Area clamps down on defense pretty well here. The stall gets high, and Igawa finds that around throw just out of reach of Grobecker for Bay Area. Steiner with the sliding grab and that smooth little inside backhand for the goal.
And had the foresight to really keep the play going. She was open. There was no one else there, and threw it. Great play by the Astra.
Interesting stat that, according to my own official stats, I want to point out. Bay Area scored 11 goals by 9 different players, with, I think, 10 different players have assists. Astra have their 8 goals from 8 different players, too. There's a lot of spreading the love around today.
A lot of parity. And that also shows that they have confidence in their entire roster. Their whole team, they're confident to catch and throw. And see, there you go. Right there. Falcons, one person didn't get it. Another person does. Oh, wait. Oh, was that a turn? Was that on the line?
Looks like that catch, that throw that went just over Barnett's head almost gets brought down by Zalk, but instead landing on the sideline. So Astra take over. Tip Yen looking upfield, doesn't find it, will engage the dump set with Pritchard. And Astra look to capitalize on that early mistake from the Bay Area offense. I'm a huge fan of the way that Chip Yen communicates. You can see them there using hand movements to get people moving and out of the way.
Oh.
That throw may have slipped out of Belkin's hand. Looked like Belkin had an open receiver in the middle.
It looked like also double coverage. Like they both, there was a heads up.
So not quite sure there, but Bay Area gets moving forward again. Zalk to Barnett. Gains some yardage in the middle field. That throw gets a little bit high. And Belkin, alert on defense, grabs the disc there. Astra will get started back downwind. Give goes there from Pritchard. Chip Yen wide open again.
Oh, goodness.
And just an unfortunate bobble. The throw from Yen was barely behind Belkin, and it was hard to bring down. Fenig now entering the red zone for the Falcons. Find Combs on the near side. Reminder, this is an 0 point for Bay Area, so they are looking, or no, this is an 0 point for Bay Area. They're looking to hold here. Astra's making them work very hard. Barnett gets open, but looks like it's the result of a pick. They're both arguing their case. A reminder that in the WUL, you have to be within 6 feet, so 2 yards, as opposed to most Ultimate players are used to 10 feet, 3 meters. So that rule is a little bit different here, but
yeah, USN metric system, I like it.
We try. We're a global sport. We try to appeal to as many as possible.
That's right. International inclusivity. As there's a cut and goes up. Not Lexington Barnett with the get.
Again, Barnett.
She won't let up.
Barnett is everywhere. The give-go motion there with Zalk. They see the disc go between them multiple times, and Zalk, the throw's a little floaty, but Barnett uses some supreme athleticism there to get up and score that goal for the Falcons to take a 4-goal lead. So we see Barnett with the disc. We're just going to hear that all day, probably every day for this whole season. These throws are only between Barnett and Zalk. And that little inside goes up. Barnett skies to get it. I don't know if that's showing you what Barnett thinks of the disc, or we've seen that celly from some people in the past. We'll let you decide whether you think that's a great celebration or not. It's entertaining nonetheless.
Wow. Litter box celly. I gotcha.
I think most people can relate in one way or another to having to clean a litter box.
But
so.
you know what? Hey, if you're scoring and playing as well as Barnett is doing, then, you can celebrate how you want. You probably run out of ways to celebrate because you're scoring so much.
If you don't want to see the celebration, don't let them score.
Exactly.
So here we go. Astra coming back, trying to celebrate their own in the end zone. Some great early work. Nadine Meister looking deep, and that is Sophie Haverneck. The layout has it in both of her hands, and then the ground contact, it pops out. You have to feel good about how the offense was moving there, and that's a great shot by Meister.
It was.
Haverneck.
Past Don Colton. You got to feel good about getting any disc past Don Colton, who has picked up the disc at the front of the end zone, swinging it around. But the thing about this end zone is the wind is there.
That's a great mark by Haverneck to cause a little floaty throw. Almost Callahan catch by Malia Smith. Meister will pick up that isolation from Haverneck in the front, and that throw is just out of reach that time. So Astra are getting their chances in the end zone. They're going to have to capitalize here soon if they want to see some more success on the field. Colton with the disc on the near side. Has an open underneath cutter there in Eliza Chang. That throw is in the hands of Pin Wong, and she is unable to reel it in.
Off the knee, unfortunately.
So Meister will get the offense started again. That's a deep cut from Amanda Ring. She doesn't know that it's up at first. Runs to track it down, lays out, and that is defended from the help by Vicky Chen.
She's calling a foul.
There was definitely some contact there. I'm sure Chen is going to say that she had a pretty good angle. We'll look at the replay here. Great vision by Meister. Ring wasn't expecting it right away, so wasn't at full speed. Looks like Ring did get her hands on it first. I wonder if she's saying if she was able to stop rotation. The observer comes in and rules with the defense, calls it a non-foul. So that will be the Bay Area disc once again. That is a fantastic effort by Ring, though.
And it's a turn at that end zone, which has been a tricky end zone to catch at. The wind kind of swirling down there. We'll see what Astra's defense comes up with in order to shut down the Bay Area.
That throw into the end zone pushes Colton a little bit further back. Looks like we have another stall call. So Astra doing a good job defensively to be in the lanes again, shut down some looks, and create a difficult situation there for the thrower.
Okay, so it looks like it's a contested stall coming on.
Contested stalls do come in on 5, so the marker has to come in saying stalling 5 to give roughly 2 to 3 full seconds for the thrower to look around. Colton completes upfield. That is a hug from Vicky Chen downfield, and that is swatted away again. Malia Smith has had a huge impact on defense here today.
Tens across the board with number 10, Malia Smith. Great defense. It's also running out of real estate, so way to be there.
Nadine Meister starts play again. Haverneck fills in the backfield. Amanda Ring with the continue. Looks at a possible deep shot. Emily Ash was looking to catch it deep. She comes back under instead. Again, this point is a little bit extended, so Astra are going to look to use their legs. That throw is out of reach of Natalie So's diving bid. A lot of really good effort being given, but eventually one of these two teams is going to run out of legs. Be interesting to see if a timeout call comes up if Bay Area gets stifled here, but these little give-go dishes between Cardosa and Colton get them up the field. That throw from Cardosa, just again, a miscommunication in the backfield. Colton almost recovers all the way, covers almost 30 yards of field to try to get there, but to no avail.
Shows you how hard Colton's willing to work. And look, there's a timeout call. I think that's probably a smart move. They're in the middle of the field. Try to either rest those legs or bring out a whole different line completely. We'll see what the Astra coaching staff decide to do.
So after a pretty stellar first half of offense, we've had a pretty slow quarter here. There's only been one goal in these first 8.5 minutes. You see that initial layout bid from Haverneck has the disc in her hands just out of reach. And almost Callahan, another almost goal by Haverneck.
And this is a tale of turnovers. We're hearing 6 turnovers that have happened between these teams. This is one of those, what they call mental toughness points, where you really have to dig deep and keep fighting and keep playing. Astra has the disc now. We'll see what they have to do with it. But to me, it seems like they want to move quickly, but they also want to move calmly.
And it wasn't just any one thing there creating the turnovers. We saw multiple almost close catches there. We saw miscommunication. We saw a drop that was right in the breadbasket. So those kind of things, when you see a long point like that, there's going to be turnovers that pile up in all kinds of ways, especially as you get tired further in the point. Being tired is possibly what caused that miscommunication late. And a good time out here to get probably 14 new players on the field and feel like this is a whole new point starting all over again. So Astra comes out in a horizontal stack, 3 handlers back, 4 cutters. With the disc in the middle of the field, Chip Yen and Bella Pearson seem to be the hot cutters. They get the handler moving out of the way first and find Brittany Grimshaw on the near sideline. That throw goes up. Pritchard gets tripped on the way. There will be a discussion here as to whether there was an actual play for her based on how the disc flew.
What I think probably Pritchard's going to argue is that the defender tripped her, which would be a foul, which prevented her from being able to catch the disc. See what the observers observed. The thing about Ultimate is that it's a self-officiated sport. And so in Ultimate, we have observers here in the WUL who watch the players. The players have a conversation about it. The observer here, they just said there's a foul and that they go along with the foul, that they agree with it, and that the play goes with Astra C. A slow motion replay, look, trip by the defender. That's a foul. You can't make contact in order with another player in order to stop them from scoring. Oh my goodness, that was a close catch.
That was a huge one-handed grab there by Belkin, saving their possession. Chip Yen finds the little inside space to Pritchard. A deep look is there, but there was help defense over the top, so that was a good holster. Astra finds some space on the near side here, some give-go movement. Belkin and Pritchard in the backfield. Continuation. Avalon Agawa is going to look to get themselves more involved on this play. There is a pick. Looks like a combination of Agawa and maybe Grimshaw involved there, so their defenders are figuring it out. Number 0, Sarah Combs for Bay Area, is involved in the discussion. But it looks like the disc will go back to Pritchard.
It looks like Pritchard's got the disc now, and they're having a conversation.
They may be discussing how far away they were or whether there was a play on the disc. Igawa still has some questions. Looks like the discussion is maybe about distance. All right, we look set, and here we go, back in play. Pritchard gets started. Belkin and Pritchard with some back and forth. Chip Yen's continuation of the break side is cut off. That throw from Pritchard is a little inside, but Carly Steiner with the one-handed grab. Carly looks deep. That's Pearson back there. The disc is defended away. That is a good read by both players to be there, but the defender got their hand up just before Pearson could grab it. And huge defense by Brooke Nishida.
Brooke Nishida. All right. Baked Goods. Substitute for our Winter League team, Baked Goods. Great player.
What's something about Brooke that stands out? You've been high on her all game.
It's a sugar high from the Baked Goods. A speedy player, essential. I mean, I think both of these teams have a solid group of players who are both able to either run deep, run fast, and move when on a turn, as well as cool-headed handlers who have amazing catches and saves. And also, those catches have been because the defense has been incredible. Oh, my goodness.
The double effort from Chip Yen on the upline catch. Great concentration. Then the low step out finds Pritchard on the upline. What a fantastic catch first from Yen to keep her concentration, and then finding Pritchard with a phenomenal throw. What a play.
Pritchard has been doing these amazing up-line cuts all day. I am shocked that Falcons have not been able or not tried to stop that, because that's what she's been doing. And look at this catch here. The attempted catch, misses it, has a state of mind and ultimate IQ to catch it, and then Stephanie Pritchard once again running up line. That strike cut has been her bread and butter this entire game. And as a handler, being able to do an amazing strike cut, not only are you getting more yards, but also you've got your defender in the dust behind you, so you're able to just continue the play with your core.
So if you're a new or young player watching that play, Chip Yen, maybe that initial bobble, she was making sure that the feet was going to be in bounds. You saw her eyes move just a little bit, but then the concentration to stay with it, and then that low step out. There are few things more valuable than being able to get that low around step out to get a throw off. The confidence there as one of the better disc handlers for this team. Phenomenal play all around by Chip Yen.
And, you know, we talked about the newer players as Falcons are working it up the field. We've talked about the mix between the newer players and veteran players. It seems like, especially that point, the veteran players have been really doing it.
That throw from Jenny Lee just a little bit high, and Kara Hammer barely out of her reach. Sorry to cut you off there, Julia.
No, you're good. You're
exciting stuff happening out there.
It is exciting.
So Astra look to get a break to try to cut this lead back down to 2. We see the clock is about to run out, so Astra will have the last possession as the buzzer sounds right there. So the quarter will end. What a grab. Are they ruled inbounds? No, that looks like the observer rules that catch out of bounds. Greta Becker, almost a phenomenal catch. It was a great catch anyway, just barely out of bounds.
That was a great catch.
So on the turnover, the quarter will end. That quarter consisted of just 2 goals scored after a phenomenal offensive first half. A lot of difficulties there in the second half. The wind did pick up a little bit. There was a lot of defensive pressure, but maybe just the tired legs of Bay Area on their second day, and Astra still getting in game shape. A lot went into that third quarter, Julia.
It sure did. And, you know, if we compare yesterday's Falcons super gloom scores, it's basically half of that. It was 22-14. This is 12-9. So there have been, and I think it's been because of the defensive pressure by both teams. Both teams have been pointing at most of these turnovers have not been execution errors. They have been because the defensive pressure has been intense by both games. And what I was saying before was about, we talked about the Astra having veteran players and having new players. And what I feel like I'm seeing a lot is veteran players taking over. Chip Yen, Steph Pritchard, Avalon, Sophie, these players, Nessie, these players are back, and they have been playing such an important and distinctive role. And it's also allowed the fresh legs of the newer players to be able to get in when they fit in. And so as we see, this is the end of the third, and they're getting ready for the fourth quarter, the last quarter of the first Astra game, the second Falcons game. We'll see who rules the skies. Will it be the Astras or will it be the Falcons?
So for you WUL fans, now with Astra back in the league, that puts the league back up to 8 teams again. So the league was able to split back into their 2 conferences, the North and South. The North is composed of the Colorado Alpenglow, Oregon Soar, Seattle Tempest, and Utah Wild. Los Angeles Astra is in the Southern Conference with the Arizona Sidewinders, Bay Area Falcons, and San Diego Superbloom. The format for the season is each team within their own conference will play their conference opponents twice each. So that will be a total of 6 games, and then they will have 2 games against a team from the other conference, totaling the 8 games. So the season is actually going to go by really fast. When you only have 8 games, you don't have time to wait around and like hope something will happen. So that chemistry that you're talking about, Astra are going to hope that this game plays a huge role in them being able to build that chemistry moving forward, so that they're able to go for these next 7 games and have that chemistry on a level that they want. So that builds all the way through. This is a 12-week season that ends the last week of the regular season. All 8 teams play on the same day for the only time all season. So
wow.
Make sure you are tuned in for that excitement later this season. And then championship weekend is taking place on June 13th and 14th this year. So this is the start of an exciting season, but mark your calendars for later in the year, because that is going to be some exciting action. Speaking of action, we have started the fourth quarter with Astra receiving on offense, and they will be looking to be much more efficient this quarter. They need to score 3 goals at the minimum just to tie the game, and unfortunately that throw right there is not going to help. Igawa had Carly Steiner coming back, but that throw was just a little bit off the mark, and now Bay Area will look to capitalize off of that error. Don Colton gets active in the offensive space, looks up the open side, continue.
And great switch.
That throw from Vicky Chen is just a little bit high, and a huge attempt in the back by Georgia Cardosa is barely out of Georgia's reach.
Georgia. You know, that was a nice attempt, a good look, but again, this end zone is plagued with wind calamities. So, great catch under pressure.
You don't necessarily want to force something big. There has been some success going downfield, and a lot of these short throws, just like that one from Pritchard, is where a lot of the turnovers are coming. And you'd rather turn over the disc further downfield and make the team work it all the way up. But the shorter throws are usually the higher percentage throws. That throw is miraculously caught. Oh, my goodness. So much going on there. Pritchard initially with the block. That looked like Colton made that grab. Along the way, Carly Steiner was involved, and maybe in the process of Colton catching it, landed on Steiner, and Steiner called an injury, so that's going to stop play right at that moment. Colton was able to get up and throw it continue, but injury does stop play right when and where it happens, so Steiner subs off. Here's going to be a replay of that catch. That throw goes beyond Pritchard, kind of pushes it back to Colton. Wasn't even intended for Colton. No. Still able to make the grab, but you saw Steiner on the ground there. So after all of that, Bay Area retains possession. Colton will bring it in on that far sideline, about 7 yards out of the end zone. Cardosa clears up line. The next up-line throw is completed. Great defensive pressure there from So and Grimshaw. Bay Area trying to adapt that front go. That throw is thrown over the top of everybody. There was space over there, but again, the wind in that area is just going to be hard to read and manage. So that throw to Eliza Chang is just a little bit too far and rolls out of bounds. So Astra will take over. Sabrina Belkin gets the play started. Pritchard is unopened up line, and then that inside throw is off her hands, too. So Colton to Wataoka. Wataoka does some give-go here.
Came on with those fresh
Whiffler,
legs.
And Whiffler into the end zone for Colton. Bay Area finally able to clear some space and hit an open receiver in the front cone. That is a great connection there from Whiffler to Colton. Again on the replay here, you see Colton starts on the near sideline. Wataoka is able to move the disc quickly to Whiffler. They do this little quick movement that is so critical near the end zone to get the disc moving, and then Colton from the far side of the field cuts all the way across. That's hard to defend.
Wataoka brought in on that that Steiner injury and really played an important role on this game. Really an agile player, was involved in most of that play and working it, and part of responsible for the score. I know in Ultimate with stats, we don't often count the hockey assist or the assist to the assist, but it is a crucial role to play in order to set up that play, and she played an amazing role in that catch on this live stream. And speaking of which, our live stream broadcast today is brought to you by TVX Sports Video. The high-definition action wouldn't be possible without the support of TVX. They're available for all your live stream broadcast needs at tvxvideo.com. Thanks for watching, folks. It's nice to have you with us. We're so glad to be here at opening day, watching Astra working this up the field. That strike cut again.
Always important to try to get that strike cut moving because you get power position. You're moving forward with the view upfield. That throw, unfortunately, has a lot of defenders in the area and is blocked away. So Bay Area will take over and will look to capitalize on this mostly kind of downwind, the favorable end zone, as you pointed out multiple times. That throw, probably ill-advised. That is a great awareness block by Captain Maddie Shade. She will take over here. That throw comes out a little wobbly, but Nadine Meister hits the ground to maintain possession. A great catch, followed by a great continued throw upfield. Ava Ekberg now looks to continue movement. Meister, that inside shot. The catch is just out, ruled by the observer, just outside the end zone. Veronica Yee, great awareness and positioning. The little inside backhand is just out of Meister's reach. Again, another end zone possession that Astra are just inches away from scoring on. Bay Area seems content to just be punting it down the field now.
I mean, that makes sense, right? Bay Area is up, and so it makes more sense to punt it and then to run down the clock. And also this other side. Oh, goodness, I guess there's an injury call here. So
looks like Amanda Ring on the mark moved over to interrupt that throw from Stepanidis, and in the process committed a foul and had to take an injury. So that may explain a little bit of the throw and the result of being fouled. But
it looks like there's another substitution.
Yeah, we saw Ring walk off. So here we're going to see Stepanidis steps up, instantly gets the play started, steps around to throw the backhand huck. And Ring, takes just an arm right to the face. That will have anybody needing to sub out of the game. Play resumes, and that is Brooke Shanita with the deep catch and finding Reeve Grobecker in the end zone. So Brooke Nishida finds wide open space and the continuation to Grobecker. Huge play for Bay Area. So Stepanidis resumes play. Huge layout grab from Don Colton, and it is Colton's huck that finds Nishida in wide open space, and then the easy continuation to Grobecker. Those are the types of offensive plays that teams love, just those quick 2-3 throws, gain a lot of yardage in a small amount of time.
Well, great play by the Falcons as we have a little over 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Bay Area 14, Los Angeles 9. It's been an exciting game, and the thing that Bay Area was able to do was to get it out of that left side end zone, that left wing calamity, where there's been so many turnovers and discs popping up in the air. You know, I myself have been called a left wing calamity, but I
was going to say, we could have really used a player named Jane today. That would have really set a tone. Unfortunately, no Janes on the rosters today. I just might have to start calling you Calamity from now on.
I'll take it. Oh, nuts, and that's a turnover.
Looked like Igawa had it in their hand, and it was just hit the ground on contact.
So I think there's a timeout called.
Yeah, Bay Area timeout once they take possession.
And even though they were able to get possession out of that, their end zone, I mean, it is one thing to pick up the disc and try to move it quickly, but it looked a little rushed. It looked a little frenzied. Good call by the coach, Monisha Dariani, to say, you know what, let's chill this out, okay? We're in SoCal, chill vibes. Let's do that and really set up this end zone play. So she's obviously got a play in mind and, you know, gonna slap together some offense by the Bay Area Falcons.
Yeah, with this 5-goal deficit from LA, you do in this situation end up thinking, like, we need to score, we need to create some opportunities quickly. And having that mindset sometimes is what creates a little bit more error here and there on the decision making. You're rushing things a little bit more than you would. You're forcing things a little bit more than you would. Can't really blame them, though, because they do need to score if they want to get back in this game. But with under 7 minutes left and a 5-goal deficit, there's a lot to be had there. So we'll see if Astra can lock down on defense here, as they have multiple times in this game, and create a turnover and try to get something quick. So we had quite a handful of substitutions there. Bay Area pretty content right now. That throw is a little bit behind the receiver, Lexi Zolk, and she is unable to corral it. So Astra does create the turnover and will try to look for something here. Carly Steiner, one of their bigger throwers, finds Avalon Igawa. Hits the inside to Belkin, to Steiner. They really got to create a deep look here. There's a point in the deep space. Unable to find
there
that.
It is.
That's a deep look to Ali Latham. Just out of reach. That throw was there from Igawa. They did get the look that they wanted and just barely pushed out of reach by the wing.
Yes, that was a great look and a great attempt. Let's see this.
We see Igawa, the good step out, just that little bit of angle makes this come back down to the ground a little bit faster. Maybe if it's a little bit flatter, it stays up in the air a little bit longer, but that is the look you want. No one's going to fault the cut or the throw because that's exactly what you're looking for. So now we see Bay Area attack. They're already at midfield. That was Lexi Zolk pushing it that far. Jules Madigan finds Alex Barnett to Kara Hammer. That is a great run-through D by Chip Yench.
Chip Yench like a shark in the water.
Had that play read the entire time.
Knew it was coming, stalked it, waited for it, and got it. Amazing run-through defense.
So Igawa finds Francis Labar in the middle of the field. Back to Igawa. This is going to be a time that this leadership is really going to have to take over. You really want to see Igawa and Yen touching the disc as often as possible. There's Igawa again on the far sideline.
Again, that strike cut.
Belkin doesn't have the continuation there to Steiner. Steiner with the hammer. There is an open player there. What a throw and catch. Carissa Telly in the corner of the end zone.
Carissa Telly telegraphed that throw. What a hammer. Nothing like a hammer. Busted out. Half the field.
Carly Steiner for her third assist of the game. Just a beautiful floaty hammer right into the corner where only her receiver is going to catch it. And that's a phenomenal catch by Telly. That is not easy to read.
No, not at all. And also in the sun, being able to stay with that's got to be a confidence booster for Astra. You know, they're down 14-10. 4 minutes left, a little more than 4 minutes left in the fourth. And, you know, however this game goes, the Astra have to know that they've been able to hang in there with one of the best, with the Bay Area Falcons. And really, this is the first game of the season, and it can only get better from here in terms of chemistry. We saw the veterans taking over that point and then doing a little spice, a little extra, a little excitement.
You love when a play like that can get your team hyped, especially in the closing moments of a game. It really felt like if Astra didn't get a goal there, that this game was going to be really far out of reach. But making such an exciting play in that moment gives your team hope again. So the defense is going to come out here in that same kind of in the lanes, creating some problems and try to get another quick early turn to keep this game close. Bay Area looking to do the opposite of that and control the disc as much as possible. That's Jenny Lee in the backfield where she's been all game. Alexa Barnett probably looking to get this disc almost every other. She clears up line and finds that disc. A great throw by Jenny Lee.
Also a great switch by Astra. Oh.
Track down there from Lee. That disc probably got a little bit further out than Barnett wanted, but stayed in the air long enough. Bay Area very content to just work it back and forth here. That throw is inside. Looked like it was going to be out of reach. Barnett using her limbs to get there. Another inside throw requiring a layout. That one from Pin Wong. And that maybe like a high stall count. Maybe saw a window that wasn't fully there.
I don't know if it was a high stall. You know, I think it was the opposite. I think it was the excitement of getting it and then just reacting too quickly. You know,
consecutive huge layout grabs there.
Oh yeah, they'll go to ground. They clearly will. But you gotta have patience. You know.
So Astra will take over on their own corner end zone line. Looks like there's a call, maybe a contact foul call on the mark. Maybe a fast count. The way Barnett moving her hands looks like she's trying to show time. She's contesting whatever the call is. I didn't see the hand motion. Looks like it's probably coming in on 4 or so. Meister gets what a throw over the defender. Fennig was in the lane, and Yee all the way on the far sideline had a ton of space. That's not an easy throw to complete, so that was fantastic. Yee gets the throw off, and Haverneck finds it deep. Unfortunately, the defender there is Ruby Holman. That's great help defense, and then a fantastic read right back by the Astra defense. Yee looking deep. That throw is in the air. Is it going to get there? It is. What a catch. Fantastic movement there by Rach Johnston. And that throw goes up.
And toe taps it in. 10, 10, 10. And that's a break for LA Astra.
Ava Ekberg in the spot there upfield. That sequence was remarkable. Starting with the complete crossfield throw from Nadine Meister to Yee. Yee then dishing it off and going deep. That not being there. We're going to see it right now on the replay. This huge block from Ekberg. Or no, that's Rach Johnston.
And reads it, watches it, and is able to stay calm even through the contact.
And then all the space in the world. Oh, that's actually number 10, Malia Smith. That's in the right spot. We've heard her name called all over the place today, and so that was a great goal for her. And again, there's that momentum that the Astra are looking for, cutting that lead back down to 3. All it takes is that one, and momentum is huge.
It's true.
And now Astra are going in the right direction, literally and figuratively again. That's going to be a roller pull that goes out of bounds, so they're going to look like maybe to set up a trap here to make this initial throw difficult. Don Colton, you're okay with Don Colton picking the disc up here, one of the more veteran players. Instantly is able to get that throw.
And
that
as
throw,
the wind pushes it down
that is
out of bounds.
Exactly what Astra is looking for in that moment.
What a lucky gust.
So with under 2 minutes left, the last 2 minutes of every quarter, play stops on all of these stoppages, whereas the clock runs the rest of the game. So that is going to help the Astra as they come back. Right now the clock is Bay Area's friend. That is a great block from number 19, Lillian Stepanidis, but the foul is called.
Yeah, and I have a feeling the observers are going to weigh in there. I feel like she might have gotten there first, but her hand was literally in front of the Astra player. So
these are tricky calls because, like you said, it did seem that the hand got there first, but it looks like the observers are going to rule in favor of the foul because maybe the body contact that happened simultaneously with the hand getting in front. We're going to see.
Okay.
Yep.
And, yep. Mm-hmm.
So they do rule that it's a foul.
It looked like that to me.
So that's going to be Maddie Shade picking up. Astra's not going to want to spend a lot of time controlling the disc here, and that is a timeout call from the Astra sideline. It did look like the offense didn't quite have what it wanted there.
Yeah, and the clock was winding down. The stall was winding down. Very smart play by the coaching staff. That's part of one of the things that folks may not also know. it will save your team a stall if you call a timeout. And with 1 minute and 32 seconds left in the fourth quarter, why not? What do you have to lose? They have good. Astra has good positioning. They're on the field. There's a pink boa flowing. You know, why not call it out? Also, they can call on some of their more offensive stalwarts to come and play this point and try to just whittle down this lead by the Bay Area.
They are going to want to score here as quickly as possible, knowing that when they do, they're still going to need 2 more goals. They do still have another timeout in case they get another turnover and can get set back up on offense again later. But they're going to want to do things pretty quickly and efficiently here as the game winds down. Before we get too deep, I do want to shout out our crew here. Randall, Bobby, and Doug have been doing a phenomenal job with this TVX crew. So thank you guys for all of your hard work in presenting this here today for our fans. David, Daniel, and Robert on the crew as well. This is a full job that it takes a lot of people to put together, and we've been able to bring you some phenomenal coverage. So thank you to all of them for that.
That's right.
So we get plays started here against Sabrina Belkin with the disc. Astra set up in a vertical stack in the end zone. Igawa ends up isolated in the front. That throw is just a little behind Chip Yen. A great defensive play there. And it is hucked right back to that defender. That is going to be Margot Donahue with a huge block and then a massive gain to get downfield.
Looks like a travel was called.
On Donahue's release, probably got her back foot up right before she released. So that call from Yen. Astra's defense will look to get set up and create a turnover here as soon as possible with 1:10 left on the clock. Great defense there from Igawa. That throw is just in the perfect spot, and Colton's able to bring it down. So Bay Area will work their red zone offense. There is a stall call there from Igawa. Colton and Igawa talk it out. Colton's going to contest. Observer comes in and says that it is not a stall, so the throw will count, and that will be Donahue getting play started in the middle of the field. And we are back in with under a minute remaining in this game. Bay Area is as incentivized to just complete a bunch of passes and run out the clock as they are to score here. That's Vicky Chen with the high stall. That throw gets a little bit away, but it hangs up long enough for Gardosa to run it down. Another inside shot just out of reach of Amanda Ring, who has been in so many good spots today. And that is Colton catching it. It is ruled not in the end zone. That's a phenomenal catch in traffic. That throw almost gets away from her, but Stepanidis is there with the grab and finds Cardosa in the end zone for the Falcons goal. And that is probably going to do it for the game. Bay Area taking a 4-goal lead with 24 seconds remaining.
Now, though, but if you're Astra here and you've got 24 seconds left, you play through the game. Let's see, this. And
it's good initial movement there, but that's a great play by Donahue to read it and get her hand in the spot and then just take off knowing she has the entire field to work with. A phenomenal throw. And then so many tight windows that Bay Area just worked through to get that goal.
But Astra, you got to finish strong. Even though losing this game, probably, point differential matters. And so playing, gaining another point is going to be good for your team. It's going to be good for the first game of the season. And why not? Every chance to play, give it your all.
And there's going to be 28 more quarters that they have to play to the end too. So you're going to want to be able to have this end of quarter down so you know what it feels like to finish out a quarter strong, maintain possession, do what you need to do.
That's
so
right.
10 seconds left here. Astra's going to want to score on this last possession to go home feeling at least accomplished there, knowing that they have that in their basket if they need it later on. So there's that buzzer, and the game will end either on a turn or a score. That's Emily Ash completing
Sophie
to the sideline. Sophie Haverneck looking, and Nadine Meister is in the end zone, ruled in for the goal. Haverneck to Meister to end the game on the high note
and
for
look
the
at
Astra.
that. Astra, all smiles and hugs. The first game of this season. Bay Area 15, LA 12, but a sterling and cheerful 12, I would say, by the Los Angeles Astra. They really hung in there with one of the best teams in the WUL, and you know they hung in there. They hung in there with them. It was 15-12, and it was because of that defense and also their offensive playing, especially by their stalwarts.
This game really was a tale of two halves. That first half, a total of 19 goals scored. The second half, only 8. So whether that is a testament to the wind having an effect, we did see a lot of throws look a lot different in the second half than in the first half. Whether it's tired legs, all of that can be attributed. But Bay Area held on just long enough to maintain that 3-goal edge and take home the victory. But like you said, Astra did look really good in their first game of the season, and this is a lot to build off of moving forward.
That's right. And giving a shout out, dapping up the observers here. Thanks a lot to them. Also, shout out to Sonia, who really helped to put this together. And especially this was International Women's Day, was March 8th. This is National Women's Month. Shout out to all the women, non-binary folks who are part of the WUL and the PUL, the teachers, the students, the social workers, UTLA, shout out SEIU 89, all of y'all. Just appreciate you. There's Sonia, who really is responsible for making all of this possible. And I just appreciate all of y'all for all the hard work you do. And it's been an amazing time to again be back in the booth, so to speak, with you, Jacob.
It has been an incredible day. It has been a lot of fun up here again with you, Julia, watching some really, really good Ultimate. I think these last 2 days of this opening weekend of the season are setting a really high bar for what the rest of this year can look like. We know that Ultimate just on its own is a difficult sport. It is a difficult skill set to enter into.
Yeah.
And the opening of the season is so difficult so often because a lot of, if you're new to the league, you don't know what it's like to play in this. It just flows so much different than the college or club game with the timing and all of that. So just a phenomenal effort by both teams here. And we're going to look at the play of the game here today. We can see the Bay Area Falcons. There's going to be 3 different clips that we're going to see. Again, this first one early in the game, Jacqueline Wynn with a huge layout grab. And then this is the phenomenal one-handed catch by Natalie So late in the first half in between 2 defenders. Incredible effort there to pull that disc in.
I love the head spike. Can't get enough of that.
And then lastly, the impeccable hammer.
Out of the frame and into the hands. Amazing.
Could not have placed that any better. So again, congratulations to both teams for putting on a phenomenal show for the fans in the stands and those of you watching at home. Again, tune in all season to the Western Ultimate League right here on YouTube. Every game streamed live and available on demand for your viewing pleasure. Everyone working hard until championship weekend in June. Thank you so much for joining us. For Julia Wallace, I am Jake Bomber. Have a phenomenal day.
All right, ISAP.